idea, and the bag doesn't give me any
It's
indication.
blue. The color is blue.
Okay, but it's like a
You have a
really
gummy
nice,
worm.
beautiful. Okay, you guys. So I have a gummy worm, and it's the prettiest gummy worm I've ever seen. I don't want to eat this gummy worm because it's so beautiful. It's like a deep, like sapphire ocean blue thing. I don't even, I
Blue
can't even describe
raspberry,
it.
maybe?
Maybe, but then what's this side? This side is like a
Like
tealish aqua.
lime?
Maybe. I don't even want to eat it. I'm just gonna set it here on my computer just to look at because it's this beautiful work of gummy art.
Yeah, we're gummy connoisseurs. Yeah.
That's true. We are. I 100%. Yeah. I have a 5. It can't be 5. Is it 5? 2.25 pound bag of gummy worms right now that are just have the most miraculous flavors and pairings, and it's half of the fun of eating this bag has literally been trying to figure it out. I think there's a grapefruit and peach gummy worm in here. Who's ever created that? Who's ever thought of that? These people.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it.
Have you been to Candyland?
Downtown?
Yeah.
I haven't been in there, but I've been by it. Have you?
Yes. I've been to one in Minneapolis and Stillwater now. I have to find the St. Paul one next.
Ooh.
There are those three locations apparently. But yeah, highly recommend going in there. They do have the gummy worms. You buy them by the pound, so yeah.
Oh my gosh. There's a place kind of like that in the MOA that I've been to, and they have I usually end up getting
like a candy store.
Yeah, so I'll get like a giant bag of like different gummies because they'll have like the gummy bears, but they have different flavors, and they'll have like mimosa gummy bears and mojito and margarita. Well, okay. And then they'll have sour ones and all this stuff. And so I'll go home with a giant bag of gummies and then a giant bag of like chocolate covered pretty much anything. And eat those basically myself because I'm the only one in the house that likes sweets. So I do it to myself.
Nice. I like that.
If you could only have one kind of candy for the rest of your life, what kind would it be?
I do like gummy worms, but I also like chocolate too because you get those chocolate cravings sometimes. So some sort of M&M too, I guess. Well, how about you? What are you thinking?
Honestly, it would be really hard for me because when it comes to like non-chocolate gummies, 100% all the way. Honestly, a sour gummy, like a sour gummy bear would be it. But I love chocolate too much. I wouldn't be able to go without chocolate. I think I would have to do either peanut or peanut butter M&Ms.
Oh, those are good ones.
Yeah, I think those probably be one of my two.
I think I like red vines enough where that could be a contender.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just grab a rope. And also, when you're on your way to a Twins game, just go stop by Candyland or park near there. It's cheaper too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that's right by there.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even think about that. That's super funny. Drive by it all the time. Well, now I just want more candy.
There you go.
But that's okay. All right, I'm gonna save this really pretty gummy worm for later.
As a reward.
Yeah. As a reward for speaking to people because
in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of baseball season also, that's why I brought it.
That makes sense. Honestly, the weather's been really good for baseball too lately. I've been really impressed. We haven't gotten like rained out a bunch and everything yet. Although now that I've said that, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Have you been able to get to any games so far this year?
Just one for Mother's Day, where they blew out the Cubs. Like 13 to something. I don't know.
That is not a bad game to be at.
Oh my God. When they threw the game at the end, I was just like, oh my God, look at this guy. He's not a pitcher, obviously. But it was like, they're just prolonging. It's like, home run for you. Yeah. It's like, base hit for you. It's like, this guy did not, he was like pitching I don't know, like some sort of, didn't look good. He wasn't
Yeah.
putting his hips into it, nothing. Not
He did
follow
not
through.
want to be
He
there.
just tossed it in there, and it's like
Aw.
a softball, and it's like, well, that's easy. Boom.
Oof, man.
How do you
Yeah.
feel about all
What
the
a game.
rules like that speed up the game? And
Honestly, I like the speed up. Um, I'm okay with them for now. Keeping an eye on, if it really has like a negative effect on things. I know that some people are trying to throw out like, well, it's going to hurt, the pitchers to have to be able to pitch in a shorter amount of time. They're not going to be able to wind
yeah,
up or like actually, I'm like, first of all, if they can't do their whole routine within that amount of time, then they need to work on their routine. Like they should be able to do that. It's not like
Hmm.
some random person was like, we're just going to go 20 seconds and like out of nowhere. Like it was a thought out process.
yeah. They tested in the minor leagues first
Yeah.
last year, and
Yeah.
this year they're testing out the minors the uh, strike zone cameras now.
Yeah.
So we'll see if those are actually going to help the game or not, and
Mm-hmm.
then the umpires can focus on timing and
Yes.
base things and all these other new rules, and
Mm-hmm.
then maybe
Which should
not
be
look at the
nice.
strike zone it's
Right.
like they do now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ball.
Yeah. I
Nope,
kind of
that's a
like it
little
though.
high. Strike.
Right.
It's like, wait a minute. It's a
And
bigger
then they
strike
like show you and you're just like, son of a bitch, that's wrong.
zone. You're right, right.
Um,
That's the only time they bring it up.
yeah, the only time.
Yeah.
Um,
Replay that.
what about you? What do you think of the rules?
I think it's a little too fast for the pitching, because I
Hmm.
can see how pitchers could flame out by like July here just so quickly. Because
Yeah.
I saw a pitcher once with play against the Twins, I think from Cleveland or something. He just got up there and started throwing the ball so fast. He was doing good at first,
Hmm.
but then he was so fatigued he wasn't doing as good as he was like after 2 innings or something.
Hmm.
And it was just kind of obvious that it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
there is fatigue setting in if you go that fast on a pitch count. And
Yeah.
maybe they extend it by 5 or 10 seconds or something. Maybe they'll just kind of tweak it between
Hmm.
seasons. But we'll see. So,
Yeah.
but I do agree. It's kind of nice to see not like a pitcher battle. I get that there's a cadence to it before that, but yeah. And then now you can't like throw it more than like twice to a base to try to get someone out, which is kind of,
Hmm.
I feel like that's kind of a cheat code. Like, haha, you threw twice, now I can lead off forever. It's like,
Right.
what? You know?
Yeah. It could definitely be easily like benefited from, but at the same time, games could just last forever without stuff like that. And so I think the tricky part is just that it's the game that has no timer.
Yeah,
Like
true.
if the damn game had a timer, like every other game, you're like, okay, well,
Mm.
we have this many minutes to do the
Mhm.
things. And so if it was like that, like each inning, you have this many minutes
Right.
or something like
True.
that. And then like pitch as slow or as fast as you want, but you only have this amount of time.
Yeah, that is odd. I would think ballparks would want them to be prolonged so that people
Yeah.
stay in the stadium and buy more stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I guess they're like, no, get out of here, quick,
Hmm.
as quickly,
Right.
faster, I suppose. Not quickly, but
Yeah. Well, unless it's maybe the whole game went pretty fast and then the last like 2 innings take
Mhm.
forever. Or even if it goes into extra innings and then it takes 5 hours. Everything's closed by then. Everything
Yeah.
closes after the eighth, is it? Or at the top of the eighth, I think.
Yeah.
So at that point, there's no,
True.
so yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah. I'm sure
So
the
far, I
owners were
like
like,
it,
hey.
but yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
far, I
does
like
speed it
but
up. Yeah. So interesting.
We'll
Yeah.
we'll see how the actual overall season goes, but then
Exactly. Like who makes the postseason through this kind of
yeah.
gauntlet, I suppose, more
Hmm.
speed, yeah.
Yeah. What kind of effect does it really have, and what kind of tweaks are needed?
Hmm.
Like, what have we learned? But
Yeah.
either way, until then, beautiful weather and nice to go out and sit and watch a game.
Yeah. And if it rains, you can go see a movie. And we reviewed a kind of an older film at this point now. But
Yeah.
yeah, what's on Rahana's review today?
We were finally able to watch the movie Air, which is about Michael Jordan's deal with Nike for the Air Jordan, the franchise that we all know and love of the iconic shoe. Um, we had
Yeah.
been wanting to watch it since we saw the first trailer for it. Um, MJ is everything in this household. And basketball is everything in this household for anyone that knows anything about my household. And so it was huge when that we saw that was coming out. It was uh we were very excited about it. Didn't get to see it in theater, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So when it was released on streaming, we were super excited. Watched it right away. And it, honestly, I wasn't sure really what to expect. Um, Mostly because it was so focused on the shoe and on the brand and less on MJ specifically. And that's what I care about. That's what I want. But the cast was amazing. So I was like, all right, give it a shot. Viola Davis says, Mom, I am all in.
Yeah.
Which, fun fact, apparently MJ was like, she's gonna be, she has to be my mom. And he's the one that like, I think he called her or something, or he's the one that like asked her to play his mom. And she's like,
Oh.
yes. Um, and so yeah, it I was like, all right, I mean, so far it's all like pluses for it. So we watched it and I enjoyed it way more than I actually thought I even was going to. Um, I thought it was very enjoyable. It was very interesting. Um, and there's just so much of the situation that I guess, no one knows, obviously, because why would we? Um, from watching like um The Last Dance, if I remember correctly, they kind of briefly
Oh.
touch on it a little bit. The fact that like he didn't want to go with Nike, but then he ended up going with Nike, and then it just kind of barely touches on that, and then moves into this is a shoe.
Yeah.
I want to be like Mike. And then so it was just interesting seeing kind of more of like that side of that whole thing. What went into actually trying to get Michael Jordan. Um, and I mean, obviously, a lot of it's probably dramatized,
Hmm. Hmm.
because it's a movie, so you have to. Because if you're that dramatic in real life, people think you're crazy. Um, and but it was still really, really interesting. Um, I thought everyone did an excellent job. At first, I didn't love that they don't show his face. Like you don't get to see or hear from Michael Jordan at all, but understanding that that's the point. Um, the focus is on the fact that like his mom is the one who is really like they have to go through her in order to have a chance to work with him.
Right.
And Viola Davis did an amazing job with that. She was great. Um, but yeah, no, I super enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I think everyone did a very good job. It seemed really realistic. And I like that at the end, as movies like this do, they had little snippets saying different things. So,
Hmm.
Michael Jordan,
Epilogue. Yeah.
yeah. So like he, uh, you know, um, credits, I can't remember a single person's name now, which is not good for this particular moment. But he credits George Raveling, Raveling, um, the person that Marlon Wayans plays. with actually being the one that
All right.
convinced him to sign with Nike. Like he's the one that did it. And like things like that. And there was a different character, or he had just like a couple tweaks on the script when he read it. It was like, we need to not have this person in it because they didn't actually play a role in any of this, but we have to have this person there because they did. They were big. And so that's how, I don't quote me on this. I believe that that's how Howard White, or why Howard White is in there too, which is Chris Tucker's role. Because I believe he originally wasn't, and Michael Jordan was like, no, he played a part. Like this other person didn't. He did, so he needs to be in there. And so it was kind of cool that he like helped direct them into making it more accurate, but then taking a step back and being like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. And they basically made Michael a silent character for maybe that reason. Like, don't speak for Michael Jordan, so.
Right. Yeah.
And all the riches that come with making a deal like that. I mean, that's obviously, as they said in the film, like, this isn't how it's done, you know?
Right.
It's like, and since then, like, all I can think is, like, people have had shoes made, but under other brands, you know?
Yeah.
Still. And I think they didn't, like, there is no, like, ownership of it, you know? As far as I'm aware of, I guess. I don't know about LeBron or anything. Well, I guess he does have like, everyone has kind of a brand these days. Yeah. Like Steph Curry.
Yeah. I love his shoes. Oh my gosh.
But some of them are produced by other bigger brands.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, real quick, I just have to slip that note under the door. You know about the Apple TV Steph Curry documentary coming out here soon, here in July?
What?
So, yeah. Look for that on Apple TV Plus. The Steph Curry NCAA to 2021 playoff run, the whole gamut documentary. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's going to be a must-see.
Yeah. Anyways.
That's exciting. Quick plug. I did also, it made me sad, but kind of warmed my heart a bit that the guy who made the shoe, who actually designed the shoe, Peter Moore, at the end, I think that they also had a note that he passed away like just a couple weeks before.
Oh, right.
He premiered or something.
Yeah,
like that,
something like that. Yeah. Before something. Yeah.
Before something. And it was really, it's so sad, but really sweet that like at least he got to be part of like seeing how big this was and all of that. But yeah, it's I thought it was very well done. I was a little nervous that some things were going to be overdone or pushed in like an icky
Ben
direction
Affleck.
Almost. Yeah. But it was really good. I really liked it. Yeah. So what about you? So I know you've seen it too.
Yeah, I've seen it. Viola Davis by far the draw for me. Yeah, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jason Bateman. Yeah, I thought you can tell Matt Damon did a good job. I don't know how else to say that exactly, but because his roles, I mean, they create attention for the character, so you feel like, oh, he might quit his job. Oh no, it's like like he's working for Nike, the underdog at the time, and I thought that was really interesting to see, like how it went from an underdog to the brand, for sports. And Nike. I remember watching. I think it's like Winning Time on HBO.
Oh yeah.
Now just Max, not HBO Max.
Yep.
Um, they they had a Nike rep in there. It's
Yeah.
like, and they're just like, yeah, I got this brand called Nike. It's like, okay, whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Go to
like, man,
Puma or
Magic could have
Reebok or
been, yep,
whatever.
could have
Adidas.
been it.
That was the other one. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah. Fun fact that I just learned as well. And when I mean just now. Did you know that the man that played MJ's dad and the woman that played MJ's mom, again, Viola Davis, are married in real life?
no, I
That's
didn't
her
know that.
husband. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I love that. That just warms my heart. They're so cute together.
Huh.
And I saw that and I was like, oh, that makes sense. That's why they're adorable. Okay. Uh, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So
I
little
see
fun
you,
fact.
Viola.
Yeah. Love it. Um, but yeah, really, really well done movie. Better than I expected for a movie literally based on a brand.
Mhm.
Um, but that's what happens when you go with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Kind of can't lose.
Yeah. And it is kind of one of those significant stories where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
um, yeah, that does go to Michael Jordan. That's his
Mhm.
name. Air
Yeah.
Jordan. So,
And literally without that, Nike is not what we know Nike as today. So
yeah.
100%.
And if you ever play the basketball games, like maybe Jared does,
Mm-hmm.
you pick your brand in the 2K. So you
Oh
have
yeah.
to pick what brand you go with. Technically,
Oh
it's
yeah.
all Nike, but this part
Right.
is shared with Michael Jordan.
Exactly. But yeah.
Yeah. So how
So
many stars out of, is it
uh
5 or 10? Where
we're
are we
gonna
doing?
go I am gonna have to use a different format every single time now.
Two out of three.
Yeah. We're gonna do two popsicles. No. On scale from 1 to no, you know what? The scale's only gonna be from Marvel because I'm so indecisive with that. Out of 5 stars, I give it 4 stars.
Okay. That's pretty
That
high.
was I thought it was very good. I
Yeah.
would watch it again. And I don't like rewatching movies a whole lot. When I do it, Bullet Train, it's because I love that movie. So I would say I'd watch it again. So it gets 4.
I'm curious, just since you brought it up, like, what takes you back to Bullet Train? Is it the pacing? Is it what is it? The acting? The
Yeah.
stunts?
You know, I think it might be a little mixture of everything. So like the acting, it is very fast. Like the fast pace is good, but like the chemistry that everyone has together and how quick and like lighthearted and funny they can make that type of movie. Like it's a dark movie. Like it's gross. Um, but it's just so funny the whole time. And it's so
Okay.
engaging and it is fast paced. And I love the cast so much and the way that they cut it. And I think that it is a perfectly done movie. Like that is a movie I could probably watch once or twice a week and not get sick of. And there are maybe 2 movies that I've ever been able to do that with ever. So yeah, like for some reason that one just, it got me.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. For Air, though, back to Air, I
Back
will
to
give
Air.
it 3 out of the 5. So,
Okay.
yeah, I like this is more. Well, Amazon would never release this on physical media unless they thought they could make money, right?
Oh, yeah.
Um, I notice with their Prime movies, which I hate because I love one of their Prime movies, and they will not release it to physical media because it's a Prime exclusive. And guess
That's
what?
so
You have to
shitty.
have Prime to get this. Same with like Apple TV, right?
Yeah,
So it's
that's
kind of
so dumb.
like you can't get the Billie Eilish documentary because Apple
Yeah.
owns that. And it's like,
Yep.
oh my God,
So dumb.
stop, you know?
Um, so what's the one Prime movie that's your favorite movie?
Oh, I like the one with Sydney Sweeney. It's called Voyeurs.
Oh, okay.
The good,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Got it.
I would buy that on physical media. That's what I'm saying. Is like
Yes.
I would like to watch that whenever I decide to watch it, not
Yeah.
if I have Amazon Prime or not, you know.
Right. 100%.
Which, I mean,
Yeah. Goes back to our last one where
hmm
that's the beauty of having physical media and the
right.
frustration of physical media not always being available. So when it is, you should probably get it.
You're right.
Yeah. But that's what we talked about last time. So what are your thoughts this week? What's your take?
My take is on content creators. Good or bad?
Like
No, I'm
you.
just kidding. Good or bad?
You're a content creator.
The good content or the bad content?
All of the content.
Yeah. What is a content creator to you, Rehana?
Alan. That's what. It is a very creative individual who keeps me entertained because I cannot entertain myself. That's what a content creator is.
You don't think you're a content creator?
No, not at all. No.
You're on a podcast. That's content.
Yes, but I'm
You're
not creating.
creating.
I'm talking. You create it. You tell me where to be and when to be there, and I'm there and I speak, and then you do things with the speeches, and then people listen. So if anyone is not sure how these podcasts go, now you know. Alan is brilliant, and I just talk a lot.
No. Well, I mean, that's pretty much it. You just show up and you create.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, we're
That's a
talking,
good
that's
point, though.
creating. So, yeah.
Yeah, I
Same with
honestly
acting. You
hadn't
just
even thought
show
about.
up and you say
Yeah.
things and then you leave.
Excuse you, sir. Acting is so much more than that.
Well, see,
But
there
no,
you go.
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, it's funny. I hadn't actually thought of this as content creating, but you're right, it is.
hmm I mean, over 100 plus some odd episodes now at this point.
Dang.
Like, we're getting up in there
Yeah, we are.
on our
What?
way to 200.
Whew. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, we have to do that many setups for each episode we make.
Right. Lord.
Yeah. But yeah, I think content creators, it's just amazing how many different avenues you have now. Thanks to the internet, of course. But since we're all on the internet all the time,
Always.
pick a day when you're not. I dare you to tell me when that day was.
Yeah.
Unless you purposely go camping and nothing with you, you know. No phone, no, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
In which case, props.
Yeah.
Also, maybe not super safe, but props. You don't have your phone.
I mean,
but,
you have your.
that's okay.
Yeah. Anyways, creating content.
Creating content.
Back to the subject, main subject. Like, I've gotten into Twitch. I've realized it's not just for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
There's music. There's just chatting, which could be anything. There's travel. There's like, you want to see what New York looks like today. There's someone streaming live in New York or something, and it's just kind of like, wow. Or YouTube, or like Twitch is more like the live based content where someone's always wanting to watch something live, whether it be a game or something in real life. And I've heard podcasts where filmmakers edit on Twitch, and I was like, what?
Really?
You edited your film on Twitch? And it's like, and he's like creating the content, but it's also like, how did he make his film is kind of the point.
Right.
And obviously that's another audience to reach, if you can reach them. But it sounded like he didn't really reach that many, maybe like 3 regulars and a few regulars there. It's like,
I feel like that's kind of how doing anything on Twitch starts, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you got like 1 person, 2 bots, and then eventually you get like 2 people and 10 bots, and then all of a sudden you have like people.
And then it's me with 1 bot every time. So
the bots are always there for us.
Yeah, I don't really try. I just play the game. So maybe that's not as interesting as maybe a cute girl doing it, right, Rehana? You could play.
Sure. If people want to watch me play Crash Bandicoot and Sonic,
they would
lose my mind, then sure.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, you could.
Like, what are you doing?
If we had a podcast on Twitch, for instance, like if we did a live show.
We should do that.
would someone tune in? Would you listeners tune in
Please
to
tell us.
a live YouTube or Twitch or I guess Facebook? I guess with
Something?
this we can
Yeah,
broadcast to all those at once. But
because that would be really cool. I'd be totally in for that.
yeah,
That'd be
so
fun. Have a guest on, and everybody could watch us and comment. And if you're rude, we'll kick you out. If you're just kind of like mean, we'll
or
ignore
maybe
you.
not a
And
guest because maybe it could just be this. Because to begin with, we don't want to put our guests too much on the spot. So unless they
yeah,
like that sort of thing, like
we'll just
Becca.
get like a really good like improver, put them on there with us.
Yeah, yeah,
Who likes doing improv? Come join the podcast.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
I mean that's a great point. Like you can do literally anything.
yeah. Because I've friends that are actors in LA that do stream there. They also do behind the scenes streams too sometimes, and
Ooh, okay.
I want to do that. It's like, yeah, bring people on set with you who want to,
Yeah.
see the magic, and not have to
Experience
worry
it.
about NDAs all the time and
Mhm.
like, oh no, they're gonna see how we made this film.
Yeah.
We're working on this thing. How dare you show that to someone,
Right. Exactly.
When it's
Well,
like, isn't that part of the hype? People want to be included with,
Mhm.
something or
Yeah.
I get
It
I
makes
get
them
it. That's
feel
part of
more
the
engaged and
magic.
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're filming Avengers, it's all blue and green screen, so it's like, what's happening? It's like,
Right.
you
That's why
don't know
people
what's
love
happening.
bloopers. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Because you get that behind the scenes. Like, you get to see the actual people who are doing the things that you're loving and obsessed with. Like, be themselves, which just makes you like them even more.
hmm
But
Yeah.
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. On your next movie, you should do that. Well, behind the scenes.
Well, yeah,
Meet the people.
I have to learn from the pros though. They're like, how do you stream for 8 hours? It's like they have everything all set up for that, and it's like, they figured it out.
You can too.
Yeah, you think you can?
Like a GoPro or something, maybe?
Yeah, there's some people who use GoPros, others use like an iPad, or it's like it really depends on what's available, I suppose, what you have available to use. And then batteries, lots of batteries.
That very important.
Or power
Absolutely.
in general, just to keep it rolling for that long.
Right. For sure. That would be really cool though. Yeah, there's like just so many possibilities with that.
Who wants to go live with film in Minnesota? We can test
Let's
the
do
waters.
it. Yeah. I promise I'll actually wash my hair that day. It'll be great. I say that like I never wash my hair, and I don't want like everyone to think I don't wash my hair. Oh my God. I'll make sure that is a wash day. Every woman listening understands what I'm saying, so whatever to everyone else.
Content creation. That's good.
Content creation. But yeah, so
But then you have short things like Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah.
Twitter's more like your thoughts or random little nothings,
Yeah, that one I do. It takes zero creation. I can tell you that much, especially by just seeing things other people post.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Instagram for sure.
Snapchat.
TikTok. I love TikTok. I could never do it, but man, is that fun to just spend your whole life away. Like the content on there. And the algorithms are so strong and they really get you. We were talking about that last time. Algorithms.
Yeah.
And yeah, Snapchat, like you said. There's so much you can do.
Yeah, so like the amount of content that people in general create versus like films, like where do films fit in? Like I know they're still kind of here, but I mean, less and less people go to the movies in general. I mean, I guess they stream them occasionally, but if you have a different type of lifestyle, you may never see a movie for like, or have like kids, you might have Disney Plus or, but you wouldn't go to the theater because it costs so much, like we talked about in prior episodes, like $40 just to get in the door, and then some loud teenagers are like ruining your movie experience.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like there's got to be like a boom back to people like coming back into the theaters though. There is something about the experience that is just unlike anything else.
And this is
We
kind
just
of your
have to,
heyday, right? The Roaring Twenties. You wanted the 20s again.
yeah, the Dreaders. It's I love it. I really do. And I think that it'll happen. I think people are going to make it back. They're going to realize what they're missing. They're going to remember. They're going to learn how to have manners again in the movie theater. Uh, and I mean, it's like a magical experience. And um, there's so many different formats of content creation, but I think that
Mm-hmm.
film has such a unique and purposeful place at the center of it that um, I think that it's easy to get um, really pulled into so many of the others, like
Mm-hmm.
Instagram Reels. I will spend hours watching dogs and babies do adorable things and stand-up comedians doing 30-second bits.
Mm-hmm.
But to be able to sit and just watch a movie and experience that, it's easy to get really drawn into the other pieces of content. And then that kind of leads you to people and to experiences and to expand your knowledge of that. But
Mm-hmm.
film has the best place. I may also be biased. And
Yeah,
that's probably why I say that.
content. Yeah, that's tricky because there's music, there's like you said,
Yeah.
comedy, uh, like film, of course, and then yeah, it's and then there's the providers of that content.
Yeah.
So you have like Facebook, you have or Meta now, excuse me, that owns like this conglomerate, and then TikTok and everything, and
Hmm.
just like how everything is. Like I think I listened to Sarah Silverman like a few months back about the writer's strike
Hmm.
and how something like Apple, let's say, instead of like Warner Brothers or something, doesn't really need writers for long because
Hmm.
that's not their main source of revenue. Even though they have content, yes, they could wait out a writer's strike or an actor's strike forever because they sell them their iPhones they use.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's like, well, I have to pay for this iPhone, so I have to go back to work. It's like,
Hmm. Yeah.
but you know what I mean. It's just kind of
Hmm.
like tech and now content in the film world has kind of
Right.
become um, kind of mushy, kind of like music was back in the early 2000s or 90s, previous to iTunes. Just kind of like the, what was it, Morpheus, LimeWire days, of like
LimeWire.
Napster.
Yeah.
That's what it was, yeah.
Naps it. Yep.
And so that's when music was like monetized and
Yep.
you could make money as a musician just from getting a deal, and
Yeah.
but now luckily you can make money if you go big, but you have a chance on your own, but it's you and everyone else who's in that
Yeah.
room competing for attention.
Exactly.
But then you like scoot comedians, movies, all these things into one room like social
Hmm.
media, then you have to kind of pick, what do you like?
Right.
And
And
what do you have
who do you
time for?
like?
Yeah.
Because if it's Colin Jost, I love Colin Jost.
Hmm.
On my birthday. I can go and see him in stand up. I
Yeah.
can follow him on Instagram. I can watch SNL and see him. I can see movies that he's in, even if they're terrible, and Tom and Jerry. I can, like there's all these different avenues that you can see this one person. Whereas, maybe there's a stand-up comedian that only does comedy and you can only follow them and watch their bits on Instagram and they're not really big so they don't really tour so you're not going to see them like what is there someone who you have so much access to in all of those different realms, or is it someone who is just starting and so they're wanting your support, but this is the only little niche that you can
Yeah.
really get that in? So yeah, I mean it can be tough trying to break into that.
Yeah, and that's what I found nice about anything live like Twitch is you have a
Hmm.
direct avenue to chat with that person. That's
Yeah.
very personal and it feels
Hmm.
like you're part of the community or whatever. And
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see that aspect of the interactiveness of it
Yeah.
together, alone together.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a way to connect in the digital world, especially post pandemic when everyone was forced to be at home. And then
Hmm.
now it's like, oh, okay, we can get back out without having to worry about dying every minute, you know?
Right.
Um,
But
so,
can we? Sorry, just kidding.
well,
Just kidding.
no, it depends where you live.
Yeah, just be careful walking across the street. It's okay. Um, just kidding, no. Uh, but yeah, no, I completely agree.
yeah.
So support your people, support the platforms that you enjoy watching content on. And
It's
um
free. It's free if you like
yeah,
a content creator to follow, like, subscribe, just like this podcast. Thank you to all our followers.
thank you.
Anyone who likes our posts, it helps,
Yeah.
us reach other people in film as well as just film here in Minnesota
Hmm.
who may not know that this exists. Like Kobe, who we had on the show, is like, oh, I didn't know you guys had a podcast. You had a
Yeah,
podcast. And I was like, oh, well,
sure
okay.
do. Exactly. And I mean, yeah, now we can branch out and Twitch video podcasts too, or
Yeah,
whatever it's
we
called.
should have all the socials like a TikTok.
YouTube, YouTube videos.
Well, we tried Twitter, but it failed. The
Yeah,
company
Twitter's
was
tough.
like 0 years. I remember putting that in. I was like,
Yeah,
our company is like 6 months old.
our
If you want
company's a
to,
baby.
it's a baby.
It's
It's
a
like you
baby.
can't have a Twitter account. It's like,
Right?
oh, I can't, huh?
I got crap. Uh,
Tell us
yeah,
how old you are. It
we
matters to Twitter.
seriously. We do have a Facebook and an Instagram,
Hmm.
but yeah, we'll
So
branch
we'll have to
out.
expand beyond the metaverse and
Some
reach
some
new
Twitch and YouTube, or Twitch or
TikTok,
YouTube or Tik.
YouTube,
I don't know if I can
TikTok.
TikTok, man. I'm
It's more audio
I'm
clips,
a little
probably.
old for. Okay, I was gonna say I'm a little
Yeah,
old for TikTok.
yeah. We'll jazz up a audio clip, and then after the Twitch YouTube
Jazz it up.
renaissance, we can post little snippets into TikTok,
Yes,
and feed Instagram
so
and
good,
that over there,
so good. I love it.
creating content.
Yes, all of the content.
But yeah, I love YouTube also because you learn.
Yeah.
I learned from like other content creators how to do certain things, what
Oh yeah,
certain cameras, how they work, things like that. That's a big thing on YouTube, like
yeah,
kind of like a Google video setup. So
yeah. It's like training videos. Like I learned how to do all sorts of things on YouTube. It's amazing. Just how does something work? How do you do the thing? And
hmm
that's it. It's right there. Um,
skip ad in 5 seconds.
exactly. Yes, exactly.
How often are you just waiting there? Like, come on,
Oh, every single time. Every time.
go.
Not to mention the fun channels that the Daily Dose of Internet channel
Mm,
and all the other fun things. We probably follow like four different, no, three different channels for trailers. So we watch trailers like twice a
yeah.
week, catch up on everything. So I mean, it's just whatever floats your boat.
hmm
You
Yeah.
gotta get that content in.
Yeah. So yeah, follow your favorites. Keep giving them those likes because and comments and shares because those go even further because
Hmm.
and it's free. You don't have to subscribe to pay anything to do it.
Yeah, which is
And
nice.
yeah, and
Nobody needs to do that.
hopefully we can pay for our podcast without having to pay out of pocket too. You know what I mean?
Whoop whoop.
That'd be good.
Is the dream.
So yeah, that's
Yeah,
my take.
I like it. Excellent take. So there you have it, kids, friends, foes. Just kidding. Yeah, create that content, share that content, embrace content from others, including ours, and let us know if you want to go on Twitch with us because that'd be fun. And go see Air. If you have not watched it yet, go and watch it. It is on Prime. It is wonderful. It's very well done.
Yeah.
And until the next time, thank you for listening. As always, this has been Film in Minnesota.